What sneaky ways are people cheating? How is there a black market for selling the reward skin? And should these players be punished and banned from playing? There is an insane story that I have to tell you about Ultra Nightmare. One time I was in Discord and somebody was bragging about beating the game. And so people were a little bit suspicious because the person was acting more like, say, beginner knowledge level when they were saying that, oh, I beat Ultra Nightmare, look at me. So they got on the video chat and they tried to prove that they could do it, and they didn't really go past the first level. And then, come to find out, the person was lying about beating Ultra Nightmare, and they're a catfish too, so they're kind of like a double liar. I say that because Ultra Nightmare is something that is the pinnacle of Doom challenge runs as far as the base in the game, not anything with sliders, or even with them. See, people want to get that golden skin, and people will cheat or use dubious methods to get there. And we'll get to this in just a second. You gotta hear this first. So there's an honor of UN. People can cheat for it, or they can do whatever they want to get it, or even buy it off of eBay. We'll get to that here in a minute too. The biggest thing about Dark Ages is that people are adjusting the sliders and then posting Ultra Nightmare clears like, look at me, I got the skin, but they don't say that they have 50% damage to themselves or 1,000 damage to the enemies, that sort of thing. And this is not a new endeavor when it comes to Ultra Nightmare. Some people would say, hey, it's single player, does that matter? I'll talk about that here in a second. But you can adjust the sliders and it's more about the honor of Ultra Nightmare. Did you beat it and have fun doing it? Great, that's awesome. But are you also cheating yourself of a true completion and satisfaction by doing it in a way that you adjust? Now, should there be Ultra Nightmare skins just disabled if you adjust the sliders to be weaker? That's another option as well. People might quit out of the game in order to preserve their save file so they don't lose it when they die. That has been a thing since Doom 2016 and Eternal, in which you'll hit Alt F4 to try and save your file. Doesn't always work, sometimes you'll spawn back in, draining health consistently and not be able to save your game. It's more about the time that you lose. I think that's the biggest rub for people, because you get a game, you may only have like 2 or 3 hours a day to play it because of work, school, whatever other responsibilities you have, family, and so on. So when you have those 2 or 3 hours, you want them to count. And who wants to spend 50 hours in a game or a run, I'm exaggerating here, only to get to the final boss and die? You look back and you say, oh man, I have lost all that time. I could have been doing this, could have been doing that, but no, I died in Ultra Nightmare. That's why it has to be about the journey, not just the destination. If you're playing Ultra Nightmare and you're grinding and grinding and grinding, there is an element of grinding to learn the spawns, the trigger enemies, the weapons, the strategies. And if you're just doing it for the sake of doing it, and you're just not having fun anymore, then what's the point? I guess is what I want to know. What is the point of grinding something that you hate? I have attempted to mess with max sliders runs, and I found, hey, this is just not for me right now. I've seen other players far more skilled than me do it and take 40, 50 hours. I'm a dad, I work full time, that's just not on the cards right now. Do I want to do a max sliders run? It would be cool to see, especially with maybe 100% player damage. But with my responsibilities and things I have going on in life right now, it's just not in the cards for me. For other people maybe, but I have to hold off. It's more than just that too. When I talk about cheaters, the first thing that people say is that it's a single player, it doesn't matter, it's not impacting anyone else. Well, in Eternal with multiplayer, you could see the skin. It gave you no benefits. Now, if it was beyond cosmetic, to where you actually got more powerful guns or more health for having the skin, then yeah, that would be a little bit of an issue, especially for multiplayer. Being that it's single player, it doesn't impact me if you cheat Ultra Nightmare. That is your choice, that is your decision. It does kind of skew things to make it look like the more people are doing it than they are. So if you have a new player, say they are on skill 1, which used to be I'm Too Young to Die, it's now Aspiring Slayer, and they're looking and they're like, man, I want to beat Ultra Nightmare one day, I want to get there too, I've seen all these other people do it. That could be motivation to push them further, or they might say, wow, maybe it is possible, I can do it. But however, the other people may not be doing it in the same aspect or way that they want to. Now we look at the big picture of bugs. Now I've covered these in videos, and there are some really rough bugs and balance currently, but of course iTrusted Software is working on it right now to fix it. This is just a temporary issue. So some of the bugs include losing your shield or your weapon. That's probably some of the most prominent ones. And then you have to, at least for Pandemonium runs, the extra lives, restart the level. It's really punishing to lose one of the most key and core aspects of the battle and the combat loop in the middle of a fight. So once that gets cleared up, I think that'll be a nice thing for players. Now, being that we are still early into the game, I even heard Hugo say this on a stream. You have 300 people that are playing the game and they're testing things. Now we have 3 million players that are trying to find new things on a level that 300 people aren't able to do just due to the manpower and the sheer massive hours put in. So we do have bugs and balancing in the single player game. I've covered that in another video, if that's good, bad, controversial, what have you. And so right now, without the bugs being fixed, it does make the run a bit artificially harder. However, it's also easier in a way because right now we don't have all of the balance changes in the early game. We've already seen some things put into play, but there are other things such as more skill checks coming. Those are tough encounters that are placed in a game, or particularly here, to say, hey, have you learned what you need to learn? This encounter will be a roadblock, a check for you to find out if you have. Cult of Space and Doom Eternal sticks out as an entire level skill check if you want to look at it that way. But we have the skill checks that are going to be coming in, so now you have it a little bit easier. The Brink of Death issue is where you will be hit by a projectile, most, not all, and you'll go into this health gate, low health warning state, and you'll have to be able to get back out of it. Some attacks do not do this, some do. The Pinky Bite is not going to for now till they get a new sound put in, which is interesting change to help the player know this. Now, some are saying that the Brink of Death is too far apart. I thought it was about a minute from a comment that I read, to where you have 1 minute of cooldown before you can get into a Brink of Death warning, helpful player state again. However, a friend of mine has also said that you don't get that. He loaded up into the game and right away it happened. So I trust that id Software is ironing this out and that they are working on it, but right now it adds to the challenge. Does that make Ultra Nightmare okay to quote-unquote cheat with? I don't think so, because a lot of people will try to justify it and say, well, all the bugs make it difficult, they're not supposed to be in the game, I'm just going to do this how I want to do it and get my victory. I just don't think that's the right mindset about it. I think that if you want to clear it out of what you want to do, the desire of your own heart and mind, and do it that way. Don't just do it out of spite against the bugs. Those will be fixed soon, and I trust id Software. Ultra Nightmare, I heard Raytro say this. He has been streaming a Nightmare Max Sliders run without the BFC, looking very difficult, and he said that Ultra Nightmare is a marathon. Nightmare Challenge runs are a bunch of 100-meter sprints, and that makes sense to me. This is a marathon. This is something you have to be in the long haul for. You need to practice for it, even though some people are beating it right now, like days after release. You have to practice for it, push for it, learn, and the ultimate satisfaction and the grief you get from each of those milestones, roadblocks, and new metrics that you hit for yourself. Now, should players be punished for cheating, quote-unquote again, in Ultra Nightmare? Should they be banned from playing? Don't ban them. It's single player. If they were doing this in multiplayer, specifically to gain an advantage, farming accounts, having a whole black market of eBay, we stop talking about that, then that would be a different story. But right now, it's not ban-worthy if you're going to exploit to get Ultra Nightmare and the reward skin. I don't think, it defeats the purpose of having the challenge in the game in the first place. I don't think it's a good idea. I could have already done it now if I wanted to, but I've not. I just don't think it's a good idea, but I can't stop you from doing it if you want to. I'm not going to hate you if you do it. You shouldn't be punished or banned or blacklisted or cut off or anything like that. Now, what I find interesting is that on the eBay, the skin sales, there is a black market for skin sales, at least for Doom Eternal with the Ultra Nightmare skin, especially for console players that can't use an unlock. I don't think you should buy this, okay? I know if you want skins, I guess you could buy the ones from the Prince Street Pizza or things like that, but this is a little bit different. This is a black market of trying to buy a skin when the other person could rip you off. You don't know if they could scam you. Not a good idea. It's best to get the skins from an official route like the pizza or the NVIDIA skin, or even, I guess, the Legionnaire $2,000 GPU bundle, which is limited as well. That's a whole other topic for another video. Some games have piracy, anti-piracy methods to stop you from playing, saying you get into the game a little bit, then you find something doesn't work and you can't progress anymore. I don't think they should do that with the skins, honestly. But you should just look at the big picture for yourself and see, am I really getting this, what I want out of this game, and pushing for it that way, and be honest about it. That's the biggest thing. And when it comes to bugs, there's a lot that have been not covered anywhere else that I've seen that you need to know about. So click the video on your screen to see what you need to watch for it that might impact you.